But, what you want them? Hold on, I'm gonna show you how to make it. You ever just get a taste for something out of nowhere? Well, I'm craving hash browns. I don't know why, but I am. So, we about to make hash browns. I've never made them before, but I looked up a recipe. They seem pretty easy to make. Personally, I like onions with mine, but it said not to fry them because they'll burn. So I'll either have to make them separately or cut them up and eat them raw. I don't care. I like them both ways. Let's go make some hash browns. Having the proper tools when you cook or do anything makes the experience so much more enjoyable. So I had to go get one of these little shredders. It cost $6. I was expecting to pay maybe $3.50. $6? And that was at the dollar store. I have my little bamboo cutting board. I use my paring knife, and I have 3 russets left over from making creamy potato soup the other day. So I have my plate because I like to have a place I can put my shavings and cuttings and whatever's left over for when we cook. And today our seasonings are very, very simple. The recipe only called for salt and pepper, but please. Black pepper, paprika, pink Himalayan salt, and the onion powder. I don't usually use, well, it's granulated onion. It's just a little thicker. You probably wouldn't even notice the difference. Like, seriously, can you tell a difference? Right. All right, let's get these potatoes skinned. All right, that didn't take long, maybe 3 minutes. And I'm going to put my shavings into the freezer. We try our best to remember to get the vegetable shavings and put them in the freezer so that we can boil them later for vegetable stock for soup. Now we're going to use our trusty grater. I don't mind too much paint. This is the sturdiest one I've ever had. I remember mine from childhood. It was a lot smaller and it wasn't very sturdy. So I think I'm going to use this size. So let's go do that. Okay, we're done. Let me show you what we have. Boom, let's get to the next step. This next step I was unaware of. Even dishes that I've cooked before, I always look up a recipe because rest assured there's something that you can learn about either the cooking process or the dish itself that will help you and make your food taste even better. Knowledge is power, and the more that you learn about cooking, the better you'll be at it. So that's why I always study new recipes, new techniques, new seasonings, new everything so that I can be the best cook. Because how else am I going to learn if I don't study from the best? I don't know if you noticed, but those potato shreddings were very, very moist. So we need to get that moisture out, and we're going to use our cheesecloth to do so. Cheesecloth. A little note, and Judah was the one that told me about this. When you first get your cheesecloth, you're going to want to boil it and dry it to get all the yucks out of it. After you use it, you're going to want to hang it up to dry just like you would a washcloth. And then I like to store mine in a little plastic baggie and then put it with my dry goods until I need it. This time I did not do that and it was a little dusty, so I rinsed it off. It's fine. You can use it moist. It works just the same. So let's go ahead and move to the next step. There may be easier ways to do this, but this is how I'm doing it. And we're just gonna squeeze. So this is why the potatoes pop when you put them in grease and you cook. All this moisture. I want to rip the cheesecloth. I don't know if that's possible, but I don't want to find out today. All right, seems good enough. Look how much moisture we got from out of there. All right, time to move to the next step. Now it's in this cute little bowl, and I'm just going to transfer it carefully to this plate. My cast iron skillet has been warming this whole time. It's been about 4 or 5 minutes. So I'm going to go add the oil, and then we're going to sprinkle our seasonings. We're going to want a generous amount of oil. We're using avocado oil today because it's my favorite oil. It really doesn't have much of a flavor at all. And because it has a high smoke point. I like to mix my seasonings ahead of time, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's killing me not to use turmeric. I put turmeric in everything. I'm about to use turmeric. Okay, here's our seasoning mix. Lego. All right. I put it on medium. I had it on an 8, but I think that's too high. We're going to leave it lay after we flatten it. We're going to leave it there for like 6 minutes until it starts to brown. It just all depends on what temperature you use. Whether or not you excreted the moisture from it. It's a lot of factors. I feel like I should have this up a little higher, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave it right on that medium. We do our first sprinkle of seasoning. Okay. And I cut up some mushrooms and onions to put on top. Not raw though. One side is crispier than the other. I don't know how that's working. You can make it work though. I'm glad I didn't have it on 8. That would have been too high. Honestly, medium might be a little too high. I think medium low, like when you make a frittata. So while that's cooking, I'm gonna cut up some fruit. We've got strawberries and pineapples, and I don't usually mix fruits, but we're gonna do that for the kids today. This is good for when you're on your period. Okay, the fruit is done, and I put the rest of the seasonings on top. These are done. And I'm gonna go in there and fry up my onions real quick in the same oil. I just gotta get all those little pieces out of there first. I don't want them to burn. I don't want them to burn. I don't want them to burn. Alright. Hold on, turn this down a little bit. Get this oil moving. Let go. I'm gonna use a tiny bit of the same seasoning. Just a tiny bit though. Cooking, I'm gonna clean up. This was my little bag that I put all my drippings in so I don't have to like have a whole mess. And this is really all I have to clean up because I was cleaning as I went along. Alright, these are done. Let's plate up. There we go. Homemade hash browns. Easy, delicious. Well, that was fun, right? Not too hard. Didn't take too long. That was like, what, 15, 20 minutes, if that? I love you. Thank you for joining me in another episode of Fury World. Have a great day. Peace.